This is the continuation of an episode. If you want to get caught up, click the playlist annotation at the top of the video. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. Okay, so we are here, the really ugly dog queen. The really ugly...
She's a dog?
Or
is that like a secret? Like she wears veils and we can't see her, so that's why she's sketchy.
Yes,
well, maybe she has the dog features, kind of like, you know, how the makeup causes the cat features. Like she has the dog features.
Yeah, who's going to really say that to her face? That's true.
So let's get a name
like she
for...
kind of drools and...
Let's get a name for... Like, is she on another island? Like one of the faraway islands? Is she on... And is that island got, you know, lots of dogs, or it's got, you know...
She could be, like, on the mainland, and this is just, like, a coastal island.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is where they're having the convention. It's like a party resort area.
So she is on the mainland, and I'm going to say that she's the dog queen of the mainland.
Is it called, like, Kananahat or something?
Say that again. Hey, Maggie, put that in chat. Spell that out. Kananahat. What is... say that...
I can do this. Hold on.
Okay. And for the viewers, Maggie is going in and out of chat. You know, she's not, because she's using a tablet right now, so she can't be and hang out and Roll20 at the same time. So that's why.
All right.
I can't believe this. I'm gonna put this up in the show this to the Dungeon World creators of what we came up with. Oh, Kanina had. Oh yeah, that's going in right now. Right this frickin' second.
It's like social political commentary and still debunked.
Good comedy.
Guys.
Good comedy.
That's just really funny. Oh wow, this is great. Okay, and so then the next thing is so we're here for the dog queen, which we'll need to give her a name. Start thinking of some names. Our luck has turned sour though, because why has our luck turned sour?
There was that volcano. There could be rumor of volcanoes, like some earthquakes and stuff. Like, maybe all the wizards like playing with their magic and trying to show off is kind of upsetting the island.
Yeah, like someone like did something that caused an earthquake, and now
everything
volcanoes are erupting.
Ominous. Because that could be a nice slow build, and then you can unleash it whenever you want, Jessa.
Okay, and I was just thinking about the slow build, and I was also at another point later on down here in the story starter, we're going to come up with something that's more immediate as well too. So, that our luck has turned sour because we learned that the magic at WizCon.
Hashtag.
I'm gonna hashtag that bad boy right now. At hashtag WizCon, and Candace, yes it is.
Okay, I see it now. It's not showing up in my Google Hangouts. That's fine.
Okay. And the magic at WizCon is setting the volcanoes on fire.
Like starting to get them active.
Yeah,
I can see how the wizards would be like, "Oh, don't worry, we got this," and then they don't have this.
It's exactly, we got this. We don't have this.
Thing, yeah.
And then they're gonna have to come back. And ask you: Is making the volcanoes
active?
Okay. And that's a real problem because, and insert grueling consequences. And this may seem like, well, duh, the consequences are that we all die under lava. But let's also think about something more immediate to WizCon. Like, for example, like if WizCon doesn't go through or doesn't happen, some bad thing happens to the magical world, for example.
Well, I imagine it's kind of sort of like a peace summit for some of the wizards too. So if they get really pissed at each other,
or it could be like at one of the panels they like opened up like a gateway to some other realm, and because the thing happened and no one ever closed it, now that gateway is just open and there's no way to get back to it because lava is like. What?
Oh, so the wizards didn't travel here on a tour bus. They traveled here through a gateway. And so...
Yeah. Well, you know what they say, Jessa? It's like half about how you show up, so I could see the wizards trying to outdo each other. like bam, and they like appear in a herd of unicorns, like riding majestically down a rainbow. Just like
That's
all
going
these
in.
different ways of showing up. That's just screwing everything up because it's too much magic, too much messy spells that they're not picking up after.
I'd like to put in the idea of a main event at WizCon. That if that main event does not happen,
The Wizard's Ball at the end, obviously. Like, there's a dance off.
okay, and so that does not. I'm sorry, I just keep breaking into giggles. And so that does not. If the dance off at the end doesn't happen,
It's actually part of a ritual to hold magic in check in the world, keep it all functioning. So we all, like, for centuries, we've thought it's just a way to, meet up with some other wizards you might spend the night with. But actually, it's like a complicated magic dance to keep all of magic functioning in the world.
And if it doesn't...
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm gonna mute myself. Jesus.
No, but if they don't complete the dance, then other people who are using magic, weird stuff might happen and they can't control it as they expect to.
So WizCon is something that's been going on for, is it brand new or been going on for thousands of years? And nobody knows that what we see as the WizCon dance-off is actually what keeps magic running in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? Okay. Because the hashtag WizCon
Hashtag
dance-off. By the way, I will mention you viewers, I will mention you in the next episode of Crafts and Conquests. In 2 weeks, we record every 2 weeks. If you hashtag me on Twitter at the Jessa channel or any of the other players who have put their, who have their Twitter accounts on here, hashtag me, WizCon 2014, and I will mention you in the next episode. Game on. Game on.
Let us know what you're wearing to the ball.
Exactly. What are you wearing to WizCon 2014? That's what we want to know. The crazier, the better. If you send a picture, double mention you. Okay. So anyway, you want to be famous? Here's your chance. WizCon dance off.
Hashtag.
Will not happen this year, and all
then the
magic
whole world
will cease. So the world, you want all magic will cease, or the world will blow up?
It behaves differently.
Okay, so all magic will change. Let's put it that way, so we can decide what the change is.
So then if we screw up, we have more adventures.
Exactly. So and then and now we're gonna ramp up the threat. Let's see here. Oh, to make matters worse, you have just seen signs of insert encroaching threat. And I'm going to tell you, the first thing I just thought of was that man from Harry Potter, book 2, who was always having you sign everything, the wizard. Mm-hmm. Like, if that's not an approaching threat, I don't know. In other worry, who you guys know Harry Potter. Yeah. He was played by the famous Shakespeare actor Lockhart.
Was that 2? Man.
Yeah, it was 2, I think. Yeah.
Getting everything all mixed up. Yeah, Lockhart. So like egotistical wizards.
Yeah, so I just imagine that Lockhart is bearing down on you guys to like ask you, what you're doing here because you're not wizards or something. I don't know. But in any case, what is the insert approaching threat? And what do you got for me? That's coming up right now as you guys are about to enter WizCon.
We're getting bounced at the door, right? We're trying to get there.
They'd probably have some sort of like a guard or like a animated sort of item, like a soldier that comes to life or...
Well, imagine islands, did they hire like vicious mermaids to try to keep you out or something?
Vicious mermaids if you so you guys are coming up on a boat. With vicious... Okay, so we're back on the boat thing again.
We're on here.
Beg your pardon? Candace?
Oh, I thought we were already on the island. No, that's cool.
No, we can. Well, we were wherever we were. We don't know where we are, but Candace, I'm going to throw your ID in there too, and say that the magic guard, and I want you to describe what the magicians would come. These are the most powerful magicians in the world, and they're one-upping each other on how to create, do things like the guarding committee, and then you have like the dance-off committee, like the guarding committee fights against the dance-off committee to, and so like what wild thing would they come up with to guard the island from interlopers such as ourselves.
Trolls.
Trolls.
Volcano trolls.
And I was asking this also to Candace as well too, because Candace came up with the guard idea. So I'm putting you on the spot, Candace, and saying whip me up something good as to what you imagine as far as she's like, oh shit.
Okay, so I'm imagining. Okay, so since it's a volcano, there's a lot of volcanic rock around. So it's something that kind of blends into the rock that comes out when.
Ooh, a volcano
close.
rock thing. Okay.
Yeah, golem?
Yeah, a rock golem that looks like a troll. What do you think about that, Maggie?
Yeah. I was picturing
Okay.
I'm kind of imagining those things from Frozen, but cuter.
Oh, okay.
Not as cute. Not as cute.
I haven't seen that, so you'll have to
The
describe
trolls? The rock
Yeah,
trolls?
the trolls, they look like rocks, and they come tumbling down, and then they pop up into dancing
Yeah, and they kind of
trolls.
unfold. Like, they look like a bunch of rocks, but then they unfold into a troll.
Okay, so by the way, I wanted to show you guys a neat trick that you can do here for, oh, I see. So for if you want to show us something, like you say, oh, it's like the such and such from such and such, you can just go to Google, grab the image, and then throw it right in the chat room as I'm about to do, right there. So, okay, so we have some volcanic trolls. And okay, and vicious mermaids.
In the waters. I bet
the
they have like
waters.
spears and everything, and they're like, "Come on, we're on guard duty. What are you doing?"
And you guys we'll say that you've already landed from the boat, but the vicious mermaids are giving you a hell of a time on the shore right there. They're like the worst PMSy annoyed.
I hate this job. Not again.
They're
This
they're
would never
pissed.
clean up after themselves.
The wizards, they have to, they pee in the sea. They're total jerks.
They're gonna take it out on us if we get close to them. But I
okay,
imagine,
so-
like, inside the actual convention, once we get in, there's probably a lot of non-wizards, because need to be a lot of retainers. So we could probably blend in if we tried.
Okay. Oh yes, the wizards.
Servants and
servants.
people
you
who
know,
run everything.
Go get that. That kind of thing. And PMSing mermaids.
They're
Okay.
angry.
Yeah, they're annoyed. Okay, and we're almost done here. So now that we have this approaching threat, we have right in front of us these volcanic rock golems and these PMSing mermaids, but we can't turn back. Because if we turn back and just give up the quest and say screw it and go back, what would happen? Why can't we turn back?
When you get paid.
Yep.
Lots
But
of
let's
things.
also make it more immediate and
Our
Well,
boat,
would the mermaids count? Because they're gonna eat us, like, or something.
our boat sank.
oh,
Yeah.
I like that. The mermaids sank our boat.
Yep.
Because the mermaids sank our canoe in a fit of annoyance. And because that's the worst curse that the mermaids can think of, is to stick you on an island with a bunch of extremely egoic magicians.
I bet they're just like sitting on the ruins of the boat, going, "All right, time to watch the show."
Exactly. And so one of them gets out some seaweed treats and passes it around.
Passing around like popcorn shrimp.
And then the last thing is, I would like to know if you guys would like to do it this way, either or. Would you like to roll a 2d6 to see, and the highest number is the person who gets to pick our remember our party choices that I told you about? Or does someone just want to volunteer to pick the party choices?
What are the party choices again?
We're gonna roll and see. Remember, they were the ones
that's
that
right. I knew.
that tied us together as to what we were doing here. So let's see how that fits in. It's a new thing. This is slightly different from Series 1. In that this is something that I've added in that gives us a reason as to why we're adventuring together. It ties us together, and it can be beyond just being adventurers. There's different choices in that. So actually, what I'll do is I'll just have you guys, each of you, click on your macro bar and roll 2d6 with, and then when the modifier thing comes up, just ignore it, or just yep. Ooh, that's a tie.
There we go.
Okay.
One less.
Yeah, my macro bar disappeared. Where'd it go? There we go.
Okay, roll.
Okay, we have a roll off between Candace and so what I'll do actually is Candace and Siri, both of you guys go ahead and click on go over to the tables, which is I think the third or fourth one over. It's like a right next to the gear icon, and click on party templates. Click on roll for party templates, and then we'll get 2 choices and we'll decide which one we like best. Oh, anarchist, like that.
Where are we?
Candace, over
Okay,
at
yeah.
the top. Yep.
Okay, so in the macro section?
Yeah, no, actually, there's a gear icon, and then right next to it is an icon that says decks and tables if you hold your mouse over it.
Okay, yep.
And then click on that, and you should see 2 decks, and one says ability card, skip that one, and then you should see another one that
Party
says...
templates.
Yeah, and then click roll. Okay, so what do we have to choose from? We have, we can be either anarchists, and I'll read this for the audience. We are a group who wants nothing more than to sow chaos and spread unrest. We actively work against the Council of Seven, which we can just make up something else, as well as the church. We can make it be, working against the wizard or whatever. Anyway, you might secretly be a house member, a blacksmith, or any other person in society, but we all have secret identities here. You all work with others to disrupt the social order, both common man and the social elite. Or the other choice we have here is city defenders. We are a group of dedicated. We are a group who are dedicated to protecting the city. The city could be, for example, Canaanahad. You may fight creatures from the haunted forest or defend the shores of the Indus Sea. You might work in conjunction with or belong to the city guard, or you could be a group of vigilantes who make the city streets safe at night. But beyond fighting, you may solve crimes and mysteries. So you guys get to decide together. Would you like to be defenders, hired by the queen of and we are undercover, and this will take place. This is if we continue the adventure. Obviously we're kind of undercover here, but we'll also be undercover when we're doing work for her in her city,
I think city defenders makes more sense, especially with the queen involved. Yeah.
I like the first one though. It's pretty punk rock, and it would make sense that I'm bad at guitar.
I have to admit that I am I'm voting for the anarchist, but I'm not. My vote doesn't count. It's between you guys. I'll only vote if I need to break the tie.
Like, they're kind of the same thing, if you think about it.
Okay,
yeah.
well, we can just be the same.
We're defending by sowing chaos.
Well, what about
Exactly.
anarchy? Like, we are just for the highest bidder, which in this case happens to be the Queen of Canaanahad.
Okay, so how about this? You guys are. How about it? Let's make ourselves part of a secret organization. You're a secret group. You're not just avid adventurers that she calls you in and pays for you. This is a group that only the most gold, the strongest coin purse can get you guys. And even the people who hire you don't know that they've hired you. They talk through they talk through an emissary, someone that will decide later, speaks for you. And you guys go around and no one ever knows your true identities. As far as the queen knows, Trinket, you might live in her city, Trinket, but as far as the queen knows, you're a simple housewife, for example.
Right.
Samel, you are just, an average, innocent, blah, blah, blah. So each of you, and we're going to take about 2 more minutes to do this part, then we're going to end up this episode and come back and we'll decide if we want to do a little bit of role play today or we'll take it to next week. But in any case, I'd like you to each tell me, think it over for a minute, and tell me what's your hidden identity. In other words, not your hidden identity, but what's your front? What's the identity that you pretend to be in everyday life?
Oh, in everyday life.
In everyday life, like in other words, since you're undercover and you have like a front that you hide behind, an identity you hide behind. What's that identity?
It would be kind of hard for my paladin, wouldn't it? Because she has glowing blue legs.
Perhaps she always wears a long skirt.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, or perhaps she's a dancer, an exotic dancer who everybody comes to see the exotic dancer with fancy blue legs.
That's true. And I have a feeling like she's a member of this group because her god told her to become a member so that she can gain more honor and go on quest to bring stuff back to him. Like he's a little local god of the mountain and he wants more. Didn't really see that side of him. So okay. Yeah, I like it. Exotic dancer.
Exotic dancer. Okay, so that is Cassia's, and viewers, Cassia is this character right here that Siri is talking about. Next up, give me your alter egos, your hidden.
I think Trinket would actually work really well with that. So Trinket, she's like a vaudeville performer. She's a halfling who was really awkward growing up, and now all of a sudden got this killer bod. So she's a very sexy halfling. So she's something interesting. She's someone that can go to your party and act as like the mistress of ceremonies. She's got a vaudeville show that she can do. So her persona is kind of hiding in plain sight. She's actually very accessible. And so as much as she's a thief and a sneak and a halfling, people don't expect it of her because she's limelight all the time.
That would explain why my paladin would hang out with her too, because my paladin would have a hard time actually hanging out with a thief. But if she doesn't know that,
no.
All right. And then Samel, Cordiana, give me your secret identities, your other identities.
For Coriana, I guess her secret identity is that she works in the local hospital, taking care of people and doing all the healing and the childbirth and all this sort of thing. But in actuality, she's a cleric with a sense of adventure.
Okay. Aww. So so everybody thinks she's just a sweet, innocent nurse, and maybe she is sweet, maybe she is innocent. But
she's pretty sweet and innocent, but she's a bit clever, and she likes a bit of adventure and likes to let her hair down a bit.
Exactly. And this group of secret adventurers, this secret society that you guys have formed with 4 members, and this secret society, by the way, is it brand new formed? Are you guys the first members, or is this an ancient society that you guys have were groomed to be in for a long time? What do you think?
Or is it like a chapter of like an even bigger group?
Nice.
Yeah.
That gives us something else to work with.
We kind of got funneled together for this mission, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, did. We were recruited for our very special set of skills to complement each other.
Exactly.
For this like specific job.
And Cordiana, I'm curious, since your character's so innocent, does she tend to be very charming and disarming? Is she good for talking down, on an irate wizard, for example?
She has quite high charisma, actually, and she's very friendly, but she looks unassuming. She looks very polite and very good-natured as part of her grooming from the convent that she grew up in, but in actuality, she can kind of charm the pants off someone and get what she wants.
Okay. And that leaves Samel, Darian. What's Samel do? I know you'd mentioned she's a bard, and so that's probably her front already.
Yeah.
But not so we already know her. So I'm gonna ask her the opposite question and say, what interesting talents does she bring to this secret organization?
Well, I think in my backstory was that she studies undead.
Ooh, nice.
Just lore and other interesting undead things. So I guess what was it? I'm trying to find that thing in the character sheet where it was like you get like one thing that you're like allowed to have lore on, and I think the dead and undead.
Okay, let me look at that. Yeah, bardic lore.
Knowledge about dead things, which is pretty grim and frostbitten kingdoms, which is always
so. The dog queen of K9 had.
Maybe she's a zombie.
She specifically requested that one of the members be an expert in matters of the dead and undead. She had just heard rumors of what could be going on at the Wizard Convention. She wasn't sure. So she wanted to, actually, I'm sorry, I take that back. She didn't know about the wizard. She's there for the beauty queen stuff. Let me see.
I can speak to the undead too.
Yes,
and
you have the
actually
undead.
slay the undead, blight on the land is my quest.
So there we go.
Okay.
We like the dead.
So we'll have to figure out how we're fitting that in, along with
It's a fantasy world. There's always undead.
exactly, along with our main, beauty queen plot thing.
But if the cat
And
9 lives, isn't that sort of like cheating it?
I could see how
Yeah,
you
the
could play
cats-
that in.
yeah, the cats. We'll keep it in mind with the cat's 9 lives, but there's a reason. Samel, you were purposely, specially asked by the chapter, by the organization. We need your particular talents on this one, and you don't yet know why. So how about that? There's somebody talking in the background that's picking up on Mike.
That's probably my boyfriend.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna pause. We're gonna stop this episode here. We have come up with and Darian, I'm gonna mute you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so we have come up with what we're gonna do here, and to recap for the audience, this has all come out of our imagination.
This is big.
To recap, we are at an entrance to the Convention of Wizards. Hashtag WizCon, which is located on a volcanic chain of islands. We have journeyed here to obtain a magic beauty product, which turns you into a feral kitten, which may or may not be undead, on behalf of a really ugly dog queen of K9 Ahad. Your luck has turned sour, though, because we recently learned that the magic at WizCon hashtag is making the volcanoes active. And that's a real problem, because the WizCon dance-off will not happen this year, and all magic will change. To make matters worse, you have just seen signs of volcanic rock golems and PMSing mermaids who are really in a foul mood. You can't turn back because the mermaids sank our canoe in a fit of annoyance and then sat back to watch your imminent demise at the hand of these rock golems while munching on bags of seaweed popcorn. Looking at the entrance to WizCon 2014, you get the feeling that this won't turn out well for all of you. What do you do? And we'll end this episode here. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, give a thumbs up for Series 2. Or I should say Season 2, because that keeps sounding like series name. Season 2 of Crafts and Conquest. And thank you for joining me, Candace, Darian, Maggie, and Siri. We'll see you back at the table in the next episode. As always, thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Commenting with Google Plus sucks, but commenting with Reddit is awesome. So head on over to Reddit and leave a comment on this video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.